Namaskaram. So in this Agni Initiative video, we are going to look at how you can be during an eclipse. So whenever an eclipse occurs, whether it's a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, how can you keep your system in the best possible way? So some of you may have come across these articles or talks by Sadhguru, where he has explained in depth about why food and eclipses are a bad combination, and that it's always best if you are looking to grow in the path of yoga to see if you can keep your stomach in an empty condition, especially during an eclipse. So, how can you make use of this time, especially when an eclipse occurs? Let's look at this in detail. So, whenever an eclipse occurs, whether it's a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, what happens is that a certain change happens within your system, and the system is in a confused state because what's happening over a normal course of time, let's say for example in a lunar cycle, what happens over a period of 29 days may just happen in a matter of few hours during a lunar eclipse. Similarly for solar eclipses as well. So the system is kind of in a confused state because certain changes are happening to the system, and as you know that we are all connected in terms of how our system behaves is very much in tune with the cycles of the sun and the moon, because we are nothing but we are a part of this solar system. So how our body behaves is very much determined by how these, especially the sun and the moon and the earth, these three have a big influence in the way our system behaves. So especially during an eclipse, the body is in a confused state, and if you put food in the system, what happens on an eclipse is that the food deteriorates much more rapidly than on any normal day. Especially this is true if you are having something which is deteriorated from its natural condition. For example, if you have cooked food. So when you have cooked food, so cooked food has moved away from its natural condition, right? So when you have food like this on an eclipse, it actually deteriorates much more rapidly than on any normal day. And what could be nourishing for you on any normal day, it could kind of turn into poison on an eclipse. In the sense, when I'm saying the word poison, it doesn't mean that it's something like which will make you go to the hospital, but it's just in terms of, for example, how you keep your body and your energies. For example, if you see that if you are if you eat certain kinds of foods, you may tend to become dull, and certain kinds of foods may make you energetic. So for a yogi, for a person who's looking to be on the path of yoga, they're always seeing how to eat in such a way that whatever you eat is only nourishing for you and it gives you energy and doesn't take away energy from you. So on an eclipse, if you eat food which is moved away from its natural condition, like cooked food, you will see that this is kind of, it can it can dull your energies and make you much more lethargic. And if you're aware, you can easily notice the changes in your system. But if you're not very conscious of this, you may think that nothing is happening and it's just like any other day. But if you're those of you who are aware and conscious about how your system is behaving, you will be able to notice a distinct difference in how the food in your system is behaving on this particular day. So does this mean that you can have raw food on this particular day whenever an eclipse occurs? So what Sadhguru was mentioning, that even raw food is something, when it goes inside the system, the digestive juices break down the food into a certain form, and it almost behaves like how cooked food would behave. So the best thing you can do is, whenever an eclipse is occurring, you should try to be on an empty stomach condition during the eclipse time. So first thing is, you can check whether the eclipse is visible in your region, because based on where you're staying, the eclipse may or may not be visible in your region. So you can use websites. For example, there is a website called as timeanddate.com. So if you just go to timeanddate.com/eclipse, and just type in the name of the place where you are staying. It will give you, when the eclipse is occurring in your region, and if at all it's occurring, what are the timings in which it will be visible. So if it's not visible in your region, then these things do not apply. You can do whatever you're doing normally. But if it's visible in your region, then whatever the duration of the eclipse, then during that duration you should be in empty stomach condition. So for example, if let's say the eclipse is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., then you should ensure that by 10 a.m. once the eclipse starts, your stomach should be empty, and till the time the eclipse ends, which is 2 p.m., you should again ensure that your stomach is empty and you don't eat anything except water. Water can be had anytime. So other than water, you should keep your stomach empty. That's the best way you can go through this. So when we say an empty stomach, it means, for example, if you have had a full meal, like breakfast, lunch or dinner, you should have at least 4 hours gap after the meal for your stomach to become empty. If you have had snacks, for example, if you have like fruits or something very light, then 2.5 hours gap is required before your stomach can be empty. And if you have some liquids like juices or any other beverages, then you should maintain at least 1.5 hours gap. So these conditions which we have mentioned, this applies to adults. So anyone over 13 years of age, this will be the empty stomach condition for you. For children, it will be lesser. For example, if you are under 13 years of age, then for a full meal it will be 2.5 hours gap. For a snack it will be 1.5 hours, and for a beverage it will be about 45 minutes to 1 hour. So based on which category you fall into, you just ensure that you are in empty stomach condition. So as I said, for example, if the eclipse starts at 10 a.m., then by 10 a.m. you should be on empty stomach condition. So if you are having your breakfast, then you should try to finish it before 6 a.m. so that you have at least 4 hours gap by the time the eclipse starts. But if you're just having some fruits, then you can even have it by 7:30, before 7:30, so that by 10 a.m. you're on empty stomach condition, 2.5 hours gap. And after the eclipse ends, you can then freshly cook food and then eat it. So you should not keep the food cooked before the eclipse and then eat it after the eclipse ends, because that food will deteriorate during the eclipse time. So whenever the eclipse ends, after that you can freshly prepare the food and then eat it. So this is the best way you can go through an eclipse. So whenever an eclipse happens in your region, first check if it's visible in your region. Only if it's visible in your region, then ensure that during the time of the eclipse you are on empty stomach condition. Same thing, whatever time applies in your region, just calculate accordingly that during that time of the eclipse period, whether it's a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse, just see if you can keep your stomach in an empty condition. That is this amount of gap before you after your meals. So this is one way in which you can prepare your system. Also during this eclipse time, it's best, this is a suitable time for you to turn inward. So you can always do your practices. There is no harm in doing your practices. You can continue with whatever practices like yogic practices you have been initiated into. There is no restriction on that. And if you know, for example, if you have learned the Yogeshwaraya chant, it will be very beneficial if you can chant that during the eclipse time. You can sit in a cross-leg posture, keep your palms facing upwards, close your eyes and chant that mantra, the Yogeshwaraya chant. So this is the time when you can turn inward, and when the system is in such a state, it's in a confused state, the best way to go through this is to see how you can be as conscious as possible. And one way to be conscious is to keep your stomach in an empty stomach condition. So at least you'll be conscious of something. So if you can do that and then do your practices or chant this Yogeshwaraya chant and just see how you can spend this time to turn inward, that is the best way you can go through this during this eclipse time. So see if you can make use of this whenever an eclipse happens in your region, whether it's a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse. Try to see how you can make use of this. We'll also add a few videos and articles in the description, video description, which you can go through, where Sadhguru has also done some experiments and demonstrated that how the food during an eclipse was turning bad, and it was deteriorating more rapidly than on a normal day. So you can even have a look at that. That will give you an idea. A lot of people, especially in the scientific community, there have been posts, especially in social media, where they say, "Oh, how can you prove this scientifically? This may not be true. I ate during an eclipse and nothing happened to me." So these things. So this is something right now. If you are looking to turn inward, and if you are conscious of your own system, then you can very easily know this. But if you are unaware, where you cannot notice subtle changes happening in your system, then you may not feel anything. So if you are just looking for scientific proof for everything, then it's up to you. But this is something which can definitely be proven. And for people who are aware and who are on the yogic path, they can very easily notice how the system is behaving, and especially on certain days like eclipses or full moon days or new moon days, you will see that your system will behave in a different way. And the more you have moved away from your natural condition, the more susceptible you may be to these forces. So the more you are in tune with your own nature, you will see that these things may not affect you much. But if you're moved away from your inner nature, you will see that you can become more susceptible to these forces. So for all those of us who are on this path, and especially looking to grow, it's always best to make use of these tools. And since Sadhguru has mentioned that how the system is behaving in this particular way, even in the Isha ashram, you will see that whenever an eclipse happens, they will change the meal timings accordingly, so that people are on an empty stomach condition during the eclipse time. And if you have yantras at home, then they usually send guidelines that to cover the yantras during an eclipse, because these are tools which are live. So it goes through a certain change on eclipses, and also there are certain processes which need to be done to maintain it. So during an eclipse time, the way you manage your yantra, that also there are certain guidelines. So if you have a yantra at home, they would have also sent you guidelines on how to take care of that. So for those on the yogic path, we always take care to see how we can keep our system in the best possible way, in tune with the natural cycles of the sun and the moon and the earth. So see if you can make use of this and share with us your experience. Namaskar.
If you eat food and your body feels very agile and alive, that means it's good food, body is liking it. If you eat something, it feels dull, that means it's not liking it, it's having difficulty with it, that's why it feels dull.
Namaskaram. For those of you looking to explore about food in depth, we also have an online program on food called as Ahar. So we have a website called as ahar.yogire.com, which will have more details about this program. If you are looking to grow on the path of yoga, then food is as important as sadhana. So it's very important that you see what kinds of foods to eat which can assist you in this inner journey, and more importantly also how to eat. So we'll be looking at this in depth in this online program, and this can be done from the comfort of your home. From wherever you are, you can log in and do this program. So if you wish to explore this in depth, please log into our Ahar website, and you can see if this is something which can help you take a step towards your inner growth. And we hope that the simple process of eating can also become a stepping stone towards your ultimate well-being. Thank you so much. Namaskaram.